Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our Thursday night football showdown slate between the Washington Commanders going up against the Chicago Bears. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for a Thursday night football showdown slate between the Washington Commanders and the Chicago Bears. Guys, before I deep dive into this very, very intriguing slate, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessNetChefD, and don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about that Patreon. I'm going to touch on that very, very soon. But right now, we are on the homepage. We are at 1.42 thousand subscribers. Guys, continue to show your support and love. Continue. If you guys are not a subscriber and you are currently viewing this video, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Don't be shy to comment down below as well. All right. Now, for the Patreon, we've been doing pretty solidly. A little hiccup on the Monday Night Football. Little late change onto the Giants in that plus, in that point line, but that's okay. We absolutely dominated Sunday. This was Sunday Night Football. If you signed up for the Patreon, you were able to get these picks in for that Kansas City Chiefs and New York Jets game. We had a parlay for 71. We had another parlay. We had that plus 7 as at 68. We took advantage of the fact that the Jets were down. At that plus 15, we took Jets at plus 8.5 as well. Everything cleared through there, and a beautiful parlay, taking advantage of the fact that Zach Wilson finally had a good game. And we're gonna, if you want to do it again, definitely do it against the Denver Broncos this week, but do something very similar to this. Another over his passing yards, another 2 touchdown game, and you take the over on Garrett Wilson yards. All right, and that cashed beautifully, 20 for 262. That's what we're looking to give you here if you sign up for that Patreon right now. And then on the Sunday, the main slate of Sunday games, we had Rams, Ravens, Vikings. My 2 favorite games were Vikings and Jaguars, and those 2 games came through solidly. As you can see here, Ravens, Vikings, Jaguars, a nice parlay right there. Those were my 2 favorite plays, Jaguars and Vikings. Yet again, that came through as well. So guys, sign up for that Patreon. If you want winning bets, go to that link provided down below. Let's start off at the captain position here for this Commanders and Bears slate. The first person we're going to go off will be Justin Fields, the highest priced person. That's duly noted, and it should be because he is the whole entire offense. All right. Justin Fields finally had a bounce back game here in a perfect matchup going up against the Denver Broncos. 32 fantasy points. He was 28 for 35, 335 passing yards, 4 TDs, 1 interception. Even chipped in his rushing upside as well. Didn't get a rushing TD. I expected a little bit of both from both sides in that game matchup, but he still came through with 32.9 fantasy points. Now going up against the Washington Commanders, this is going to be an upgrade in defenses here. You saw what the Commanders were able to at least stymie the Eagles defense early in that football game. And I think they can bring that type of pressure to Justin Fields and that Chicago Bears O-line as well. But there was upside with Jalen Hurts making the correct throws and even rushing the football there, that Justin Fields has a very good avenue to have a great game in this Thursday night football matchup here. So we're going to go stick to the well here. Captain position, Justin Fields does deserve to be there at this price point. All right. If he does not come through, obviously the Bears are going to falter. He is literally the whole entire offense on this side of the football. Okay. The next captain we're going to be going towards will be Sam Howell. All right. I like both quarterbacks in this game because the Chicago Bears are literally the worst defense in the league between them and the Denver Broncos. That's going to be your 31st and 32nd ranked defenses here. So we just if you want to see the numbers, QBs, fantasy points allowed to QBs. The Chicago Bears, 25th overall, 25th in the red zone, allowing 288 yards passing, 2.3 TDs in each and every game. We saw what Russell Wilson was able to do. They were down the Denver Broncos offense was down 25 points. They came all the way back and won the game on that Chicago Bears defense. Chicago Bears is seeing a ton of injuries now in that secondary, and that's going to bode well for Sam Howell in this one. We saw him bounce back from his poor performance against the Buffalo Bills, and he came through with 29 for 41, 1 TD, but huge throws. If you were able to just watch that game, he was comfortable and making big time throws, especially to get that game into overtime. So I like Sam Howell, and I like his rushing upside. He was 6 for 40 against the Eagles, and I expect him to do his normal amount of rushing. When things break down, he's going to first look down the field, and if not, he's going to run as well. So I like Sam Howell at his price point for captain position in this game. I expect 2 touchdowns from him easily in this game. All right, the next players we're going to be going to, another weak spot against the Chicago Bears defense is their run stopping defense here. Their run D is very, very poor. And we got 2 guys here, because if you're looking at the snap count for the Washington Commanders, they're splitting carries between Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson. All right, 55% of the carries go to Brian Robinson, and then you got 38% going to Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson is more of the explosive guy, and in goal-to-goal situations, obviously in the red zone, Brian Robinson, unless he's tired, he's going to be taking advantage of those opportunities. So I like both of these guys. All right, 13,800 for Brian Robinson. He's going to be he's going to have a higher ownership. But Antonio Gibson, if you want to save some salary here, get a little bit contrarian, not a lot of people are going to be playing him. I think he should be definitely in each and every one of our lineups as a flex. He's definitely a solid flex play, because look at his price, $3,200. You can afford a lot if you're able to go towards Antonio Gibson, and he's getting just as much of the snap share in this running back committee that they got going on for the Commanders. And if he can get one of these receptions and one of these targets and take it to the house, you're setting yourself apart from everyone else. I think this is a very sneaky play. That's why I'm willing to put Antonio Gibson as a captain play. All right, if he's flex, it's 3,200. You can afford, once you put him as a captain, you can literally go Justin Fields, Sam Howell. You can get you DJ Moore, and you can get either Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson. So that, I think you cover a lot of bases if you go that route. So Antonio Gibson is going to be viable at that captain spot. All right, if you want to bring back another captain on the Chicago side, if it's not Justin Fields, it would have to be DJ Moore. Okay, DJ Moore is going to have another huge game. He's been solid despite the fact that Justin Fields has been struggling this entire season. The last 3 weeks, we've had solid performances, 19.4, 13.1, and 30.1 against Denver. That was a perfect spot to take advantage of. 8 for 9 for 131 and a touchdown. I like DJ Moore yet again. We saw what A.J. Brown was able to do against the secondary in the rookie and Forbes. DJ Moore can do the very same thing towards that secondary and towards Forbes as well. DJ Moore is a very explosive wide receiver, and he should definitely cash in on his current salary right here. It's a 2-man game when you're looking at the Chicago Bears on the offensive side of the ball. We'll get into some other flex plays that showed up last week, but the mainstays for captain, you're going to go with DJ Moore, Justin Fields, and on the Washington side, Sam Howell, and I do like the duo of Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson. Let's go on to the flex plays. Starting off with the flex plays, I'm going to go over to the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears side of the ball. I already told you I like DJ Moore. The other guy we're going to be looking towards will be Darnell Mooney. This is the number 2 wide receiver here on the Chicago Bears, especially since Claypool has been outside of the team right now. They want to trade him. Darnell Mooney has had it's been pretty bad. He's showed up in only the good matchup. So against Green Bay, 4 for 53 and a touchdown, and against Denver, another great matchup, 4 for 51. Well, we have another great matchup here against these Washington Commanders. The secondary is a little bit shaky. The Commanders D is based upon that front 7 getting pressure on to the quarterback, which they definitely have a lot of pass rushers to get to the QB. But right now, the Commanders are the 5th easiest matchup for opposing wide receivers. So we got DJ Moore, and now you can go towards Darnell Mooney if you want to go to more a higher scoring type of environment. in this Chicago and Washington game. They can lean upon DJ Moore, and if they try to focus in the defense on him, then Darnell Mooney is going to be the guy that's going to have to step up as well. All right. Now for the Washington pass catchers, I didn't even touch on any of those. You got Terry McLaurin and you got Jahan Dotson. Right now, Terry McLaurin is still the number one option here, despite the fact he has turf toe. He's playing fine. Like, there's no issues at all. And he had his best game so far against the Philadelphia Eagles, 8 for 10 for 86. He's doing the most with his targets other than Jahan Dotson. If you're looking at Jahan Dotson, he's still getting a nice allotment of targets. He had 9 targets last week, 4 of 9 to 27, a lower ADOT, but he did get a touchdown to send it into overtime. That was a very huge play, very clutch route he came up with. That connection should get stronger as the season goes on, but we're going to get better performances out of Jahan Dotson. Do not be dismayed of what you're seeing so far in the first 4 weeks. So we still do like Jahan Dotson in this game environment. If you want to go with one of the Washington wide receivers, Terry McLaurin is number 1. Number 2 is going to be Jahan Dotson. In the Chicago Bears defense, they do not have a top tier cornerback. So one of these 2 guys are going to pop off, not if both. Okay. So I like McLaurin and Jahan Dotson in our lineup builds. If you want to go with them at captain, go ahead. But these guys are going to be fine flex plays as well. If we continue to go down, Chicago, if they have any hope, I told you guys they need to get the running game going. And Khalil Herbert was able to do that against the Denver Broncos. 18 for 103, 4 receptions, 5 targets, and 19 yards. Very solid performance. This is what he did last season when he got the opportunity. We weren't able to see that yet in the first 3 weeks, but Denver is a perfect matchup, and he did show what he's capable of. And guys, I know you guys want to play Rashawn Johnson. That day will come probably later in the season. Right now, Khalil Herbert is going to have his run and show that he's going to be capable of being the number 1 running back in this offense. So Khalil Herbert at this current price is going to be a fine play at a flex option. Okay. Now, as we continue to go on, Cole Kmet, he had a great game. All right. He usually does this. It's like mid, and then he just goes absolutely off. And it was a perfect game. Denver. This particular matchup against Washington, they are the top 5 team against opposing tight ends. So I'm not sure if he's going to have this big outburst like he did against Denver, 7 for 85 and 2 TDs. That's a big anomaly there. Cole Kmet is probably should be one of your last flex plays if you do want to go that route. I don't think you should in this slate. All right, we do like kickers. Both kickers are going to be viable in your lineup builds on both sides of the ball because I see a lot of point scoring, a lot of opportunities of guys on the other side of their opponent's field, and if they can't convert, then yes, they will be kicking those field goals. So I like both kickers in this game. We got Santos and we got Sly. Okay, both of those guys are going to be viable. Now, for defenses, of course, we're not going to play the Bears defense. The Bears defense on the road, and plus the Commanders actually have a pass rush, and the Chicago Bears have a poor offensive line. So the defense we're going to be going with, and if you want to be contrarian, if you want to put them at a captain spot, another cheap captain to forward everything else, then you can go with the Commanders. Commanders put up a decent fight against Philadelphia, but obviously they cracked under pressure. But we saw 2 good performances out of the Commanders in the first 2 weeks against Arizona and Denver. Poor teams. Now you're first facing another poor team in the Chicago Bears. Expect a double-digit fantasy performance from this defense here, creating havoc up front, getting sacks, and probably creating turnovers as well. So love Commanders D, very sneaky play right there, right? If we're looking for anyone even cheaper than that, if we go below kickers and defenses, I already told you about Antonio Gibson. I like him as a captain play, but he's definitely going to be viable as a flex. He should be in each and every one of your lineups. I think so. And then below that, it gets really ugly. Equanimeous St. Brown is technically the number 3 wide receiver here. I think De'Ami Brown has a route to some fantasy points between him and Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel is going to be a little bit more expensive, and they use him a little bit more as a gadget guy as well. He was able to get in the end zone last week against the Philadelphia Eagles. He was 7 for 51. He's going to be running a lot of jet sweeps. He's usually the motion guy. So if you want to go cheaper, around that kicker and defenses range, then you can go towards Curtis Samuel. He's going to be the guy that's going to get a lot of the easy, low A-dot type of targets. He's going to have to do things yards after the catch for him to get into the end zone and get more fantasy points. All right, so Curtis Samuel is going to be a punt play as well. And like I said, below kickers and defenses, I think I'll just go as far as Antonio Gibson. Everyone else, unless some injuries pop up, none of these guys get enough snaps. You would have to get lucky if you go down that far, right? So thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsSD, and I'll be back with another video very soon, all right? Peace out.